Hello and welcome. My name is Amanda, and today I have for you my next bi-monthly TBR. So these are the books that I hope to get to during the months of May and June. I have a couple here and a couple that I will talk about in another video in the future. I will be participating in a Finish a Series readathon that lasts through the whole month of May, and it's hosted by my friend Darshell over at Books and Planners. So I do have a separate TBR just for those books that I plan to get to, but these are the other books that I would like to get to. So the first book I have, which is specific for May, is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This would be a reread for me, and I read the physical book maybe 2 years ago, but I do have the Jim Dale narrated audiobook on Audible that I plan to give a re-listen. So this is for a book club that I'm a part of, which, as I just mentioned, my friend Darshell, she does host. It is the B&P Book Club on Facebook. I can leave a link to the Facebook group down below if you would be interested in joining the group. But the group pick for the month is The Night Circus. So I am really looking forward to give this a reread. This, I believe, I gave 4 stars when I read it the first time, and it was just so flowy and magical. I love the writing style. I love the story. The world building was amazing. You could feel like you were in the circus. You could see everything so vividly. The treats and things were just so mouth-watering, and if I could actually have those in real life, I would be such a happy girl. So I do look forward to experiencing this and consuming this in a different way through an audiobook, but I'm definitely looking forward to this. The next book I hope to get to, actually these aren't in any particular order, just books that I thought would be good for the kind of transition out of spring into summer. So the next book I have is The Paris Wife by Paula McLain. This is a book that I picked up at my favorite used bookstore quite a while ago, and it's about time I got to this darn thing. It is basically takes place in Chicago of 1920, and it's about this shy 28-year-old. I'm turning 28 this year, so what a perfect read. But she's all but given up on love and happiness when she meets Ernest Hemingway and is captivated by his energy, intensity, and burning ambition. So it's basically, it's a historical fiction, obviously. Takes place during the Jazz Age, and I believe they moved to Paris. And it's basically just about their love, and I think how yeah, their love. I don't really know much more than that. I don't really want to know much more than that. I believe I can get this book on Scribd, so I probably will listen to it as an audiobook. Just because I typically have more time for audiobooks than I do for physical books. But we'll see. I might kind of switch back and forth between them. I might follow along as I listen to the audiobook. I might ditch the idea of an audiobook if I can't get it in time. We'll see. But this would be a nice book, I think, to read for these 2-month period. And the next book I have is Dunkirk by Joshua Levin. This is, I don't exactly know if this is, I think this is based off the movie, and it says the history behind the major motion picture, so I think it's not necessarily a screenplay, but it's really just the historical events that led up to the events that happened at Dunkirk, and how that inspired the making of the movie, probably how they pulled together all those aspects and decided what to make in the movie, all of that sort. But I really do like reading about the World War II time period. I'm a big fan of Harry Styles, even at the ripe old age of 27. And I would like to just read this book before watching the movie. I am really interested in watching the movie. We own it. We have owned it since it came out, and I've been putting it off because I wanted to read the book first. So I think it'd be good to have a background history and knowledge of what happened at Dunkirk before watching anyway. I think it would make it, I mean, I think the movie is going to be impactful and hard-hitting anyway, but I think having that history and knowledge will make it even more so and take it to the next step. So this is a book that I do plan to get to during this month, or these 2 months. And another book I have is Water for Elephants by Sara Gruen. I don't particularly like Sara Gruen. I don't think she's a very good person. And also I read At the Water's Edge. I listened to it on audiobook, and it was such a bad book. But I have seen this movie, and since I'm already reading like a circus carnival-y themed book, I wanted to read another one, and I want to finally find out whether I like this book or whether I just like the movie. And if I don't like the book, I want to get it off my shelf, because again, I don't really like Sara Gruen, and I don't really want to own one of her books, even though this was bought secondhand. So really the money went to my favorite used bookstore and not to her, but we'll see. It's a New York Times bestseller. Basically, this isn't a description. From what I remember, it follows the life of this boy, Robert Pattinson, and he becomes part of this circus and has romantic feelings for the circus owner, or like the main performer's wife, and the husband is very abusive, I think, both emotionally and physically. That's about all I remember. It's been quite a while, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this is like. And then the last book that I have on my TBR for these 2 months is Pacifica by Kristen Simmons. This is a dystopian novel. It says, blue skies, green grass, clear ocean water, an island paradise like the ones that existed before the melt. A lucky 500 lottery winners will be the first to go, the first to leave their polluted, dilapidated homes behind and start a new life. It sounds perfect, like a dream. The only problem, Maren Carey spent her childhood on those seas and knows there's no island paradise out there. She's Corsario royalty, a pirate like her father and his father before him, and she knows a con when she sees one. So where are the 500 really going? This reminds me a lot of Waterworld, which is a movie that I really like. I did, I think it was for another readathon, try a chapter between this and the Sandcastle Empire, and I ended up picking the Sandcastle Empire over this. But I think I remember what happens in the first chapter, and I keep remembering like flashes of it, and I'm like, where did I read that from? Where did I see that from? And I'm pretty sure it was this. So it would be nice to, I guess the story is coming up in my head, so it'd be nice to actually finish this and see what it's all about. So those are the 5 books that I would like to get to during the months of May and June. We'll see how I do. I don't hold myself too strictly to these bi-monthly TBRs, just because I'm doing them bi-monthly now rather than monthly, so that I can give myself a little bit more room and freedom within my reading, especially because I seem to be becoming more of a mood reader as I get older, and it's nice to not be tied down and not feel bad when I don't hit all the books in my TBR. So that is it. I would love to know what you plan to read during the end of spring, beginning of summer months. If you've read any of these books, what your thoughts were on them, I would love to know that as well. So please do let me know down in the comments below, and I will chat with you there until my next video. Bye!